you can't do what you want to do or what you feel you have to do in order to be successful. Everybody finds lawyers very negative. But what we were able to do by setting this example of optimism and innovation is to create a group of can-do advisors. We were trying to project ourselves as business advisors, not just as scriveners or as lawyers, and we were trying to position ourselves as people who would help to find creative solutions for accomplishing the objectives that the clients set forth. Let me say now a few words about the second characteristic of leadership in the past, what I call that lack of training. The practice group that I chaired at my law firm was the healthcare group. When I was named the chair, I was given no training, no instruction as to how to perform this job whatsoever. And that was true for every law firm, for every practice group in my law firm, and I suspect for most law firms in the country. We were all very well trained as lawyers, and we all knew how to do that job. But the job of a department chair is something very, very different, and neither law schools nor law firms provided any training whatsoever for that job. But the absence of that training, that kind of training, was not peculiar to law firms. The primary clients of our particular practice group were community hospitals and academic medical centers. And what was shocking to me was that these institutions didn't provide any training for their leaders either. If you were the best surgeon in the medical center, you usually became the chief of surgery. But many in that role were ineffective or even poor leaders. They had been trained to cut in medical school, and they could do that job very, very well. But they were not trained to lead, either in medical school or once they got out of medical school. And many were simply unable to leave their ego in the operating room. If you think about it, in the context of an operating room, a strong ego is a real asset. It gives you confidence and gives you a real sense of quality. But outside the operating room, you're talking about a strong ego, which becomes a significant hindrance to motivating a group of people to follow a common mission. Switching back to the sports theme for a minute, let me emphasize for you what I think is one of the critical components of a great leader, and that's humility. I went to the first New England Patriots game this fall. They were playing very poorly, as you may recall. They were losing by 2 touchdowns. There was only 5 minutes left in the game. But eventually, in the